Hi everybody. Today I'm going to show you a recipe for waffles, okay? They're not 100% gluten-free because they're spelt waffles. A spelt is like an ancient type of wheat that contains a little bit less fructans than regular wheat. And so it's easier to digest for people who've got issues with wheat. It's not gluten-free, but it goes down easier. It's kind of like the same way sourdough kind of goes down easier. Well, spelt, for different reasons, is easier to digest when people have an intolerance to gluten, okay? Now, people with celiac, forget it, because they can't have any gluten whatsoever. But spelt is like a good compromise. So what I do is I don't use 100% spelt flour. I use half spelt flour, half gluten-free flour. And any generic gluten-free flour will work. So if you've got a package of gluten-free flour that you don't particularly like and you wouldn't use in normal recipes, then you can use it in this one, okay? Because the spelt will help forgive it, okay? So I usually make waffles with white wheat flour because my eldest loves waffles, and I never kind of thought, oh, I'm going to take wheat away from him. I mean, poor guy doesn't have any intolerance to it, but I do, want to not make him eat too much white flour, right? Because it's so processed. So this is why I gave these a try. Now, I'll give you the ingredients. I've already made a few. What I put in it is I put this generic gluten-free flour that I have. The brand here is Dove Farm, okay? I think have no, I don't have it, but it's Dove Farm is the brand. I don't particularly like this one when it comes to, making cakes and crepes and things like that. But I use it in this recipe and it works fine. So I use about half a cup of this flour, and then I use whole spelt flour. So you can have white spelt and you can have whole grain spelt. I use the whole grain spelt one. This brand is just a local brand, but any brand will do, I think. So I do half cup of the gluten-free, and I do about 3/4 cups of this spelt flour. I mix them together in a large bowl. I put a big tablespoon of baking powder, a pinch of salt. I use coconut sugar to sweeten it slightly. So the brand I use is Bob's Red Milk, but to be perfectly honest with you, you could use any brand, okay? So this is it. It looks like brown sugar, coconut sugar, but it has a lower glycemic index, and it's really good for baking. You could also use coconut nectar, okay? I put roughly 3 tablespoons. Coconut nectar looks like this. The brand is Nature Green, but there's loads of different brands. It looks like molasses almost, but it doesn't have a strong taste. So it's a really good sweetener. It doesn't taste like coconut at all, and it's a great sweetener when you're baking. Or when you need something sweet to replace sugar, okay? When it's just like a couple tablespoons or half a cup or whatever. So I put 3 tablespoons of that. I mix in 2 eggs. I put a cup of almond milk. I make my own, but you can get ready-made almond milk. My only kind of tip when you get almond milk is to make sure in the ingredients that it's unsweetened and that there are no carrageenans in it. Carrageenan is a type of algae that's used in these plant milks, and it's not very good for your gut, okay? So especially if you're dealing with like IBS or, you have a sensitive digestive system, I certainly wouldn't want to make you have carrageenans, okay? So you can also use just regular milk, okay? So it's up to you. I put a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I said 2 eggs already, okay? And I make this batter. Okay, so I'll show you. This batter is quite thick. So what I do is I've also added 3/4 cups of sparkling water. So any brand will do, just seltzer water, even club soda will do. I put 3/4 cups. That's going to make it a bit lighter than adding more milk. And it helps because spelt is quite a, you know, heavy kind of grain. So that's what I would do. I would just put that 3/4 cups of this and I mix it all up. Hey Vincent, I'm making waffles. All right, and then I just grease the waffle maker, and I've just kicked everybody out of the kitchen because they see that I'm telling. All right, and then you just put in the waffle maker according to, you know, the normal directions of any waffle maker. And that's it. And then you just close and you wait, and you're gonna see this amazing aroma is gonna come out. Let all the steam come out. And once there's almost no steam left, you open it up and you're gonna get this beautiful, crispy, light waffle, okay? It has a really nice texture, this one. And, you know, you can freeze these really easily. I freeze them all the time, and then I just put them in the toaster like you would with Eggo waffles, except they're not Eggo waffles, they're Mommy's spelt waffles. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see other recipes, go to wellmama.com, WELLMAMA.com, or just follow me on Instagram or Facebook. I post all my recipes there as well. Alrighty, have a good one.